All right, guys. Well, today we're going to talk about the kiln drying process, how it's been going with the new heater. I think this is the second batch I got in there now with the new heater. So this here is the first batch with the bigger heater in there, and this was actually in there longer than any of the previous ones with all the other heaters and so on. This was actually in there 7 full days. And the only reason it was in there 7 days is because I was so busy. By the time I got home, it was so dark or late. I was so tired that I couldn't pull it out. But anyways, and the extra, yeah, to be honest, by looking at the chart that it data logs on there, percentage-wise, moisture or humidity in the kiln, the last 2 days probably only went down like 4%. So not a lot, right? Versus it starting at almost 50 and going all the way down to around 17. It went down to 14%. So I think the 7th full day was kind of useless. I mean, it still, you know, took moisture out, but I mean, I mean, look how dry that is. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? So, no, so with the heater, the bigger heater in there now, it gets up the temp way faster. It holds the temp way better. The strain, or I guess the heat loss on the boiler, it's about the same. I mean, it may be a little bit more, but it's not much to really notice a difference as far as how much wood I'm throwing in there. So that's good. It heats up a little better. I feel like the moisture gets wicked away a little better because it's hotter sooner. I'm still not sure on how the percentage of the inside of the wood was, I want to say it was still around 17%, which is good. And that's on the bigger piece. I had actually a couple bigger pieces that were kind of the size of this guy right here, right? But it was fatter. I split that and I was like right at 20. All the small stuff here, I mean, there's no point in even opening it up, but I did, and I was like 15%. So the only thing I'm still, you know, unsure of is if it's like case hardening, that it's drying too fast on the outside and it's still not letting the moisture out. I mean, it's still all burnable, no problem. And obviously, as it's been sitting here for almost 3 days, I'm sure the outside's starting to regain a little bit of moisture. And it's the moisture from the inside wicking out because it's dry and it's wet in the inside. So that's fine to kind of like equalize. So I'm kind of debating on if I should run it for 3 days, take it out, let it sit, put a different batch in for 3 days, and then rotate them after 3 days and go back in there, if that'll make a huge difference. Because I know, like on professional kilns that you can buy, a lot of them will have it where they throw more, you know, they kind of put mist onto the wood, right? Because it hardens too fast. I know they do that in lumber kilns. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of torn, you know. Every batch is different, I get it. So I'm just kind of thinking of ways to optimize the kiln cycle, right? I mean, it's all dry and ready to go, but there's some pieces that are bigger that I feel like they need a little bit more time. It's all burnable, right? I mean, I guess I'm just used to open up a piece and it's, you know, 17, 18%, you know, seasoned wood versus, I mean, it doesn't matter what piece you pull out of here, whether it's on the bottom, middle, front or back of the kiln, all the outsides are unreadable. They're 0%. Then you can definitely tell. So I do feel like I have to start getting them a rest cycle and then put them back in. I just don't know if that's going to make a huge difference or not, or if I'm just wasting time by letting them cool down to go back in there to waste a half a day to heat them back. I mean, I don't know. I'm curious to see what you guys think, if that'll make a big difference. I'm going to do it regardless because I think with the way my kiln's set up, that's what I mean, you can tell, look at this piece, how much dry it is. The bark just comes right off of it. So I know the wood is shrinking. I know it's working, obviously, because it's dry. And all the wood that I've had in here that I've sold, nobody has said anything like, oh, this is wet or whatever. It's kind of nice though, because everything is clean. It's not like darkened by the sun, you know, from being seasoned. I actually like how this really looks, you know, but I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what you guys think, or if any of you have any experience with kiln drying. This here is seasoned cherry. I'm actually going to sell this to one of my previous customers that buy 4 or 5 cords a year. I already gave them 2. They want another 2. Not these pieces here. This will go out of the boiler. This is actually, you know, this is just pieces gigantic. But all the rest is all good cherry. I mean, I hate to sell a specific species like that quantity, but that's okay. I usually will sell it, you know, for a higher price, but I'm kind of cramped on time of drying, so I'm going to give them a premium wood versus somebody else, some other customer. So yeah, I think the next test after this batch comes out, I think I'm going to put in for 3 days, take it out, put another batch in for 3, see what that wood is like after 3 days, test it, put it back in for another maybe 2-3 days, depending on what the humidity level is at, and then retest it and see. You never know, that could be my new schedule for trying to dry green wood. This should be the only season I have to do that, just because I'm so far behind. Which it is what it is. For next season, it'll just be for orders of kiln dried. So I'll take my seasoned wood out of the wood yard, throw it in there for probably only 3 days at max, just to get it up to temp, to make sure the core is at 140 plus, right, for an hour, which, like right now, we're at 155, and it's been like that for 2.5 days. So everything I'm selling is technically kiln dried, so, and I'm selling it for the normal price. So I'm spending money to make money, but that's kind of what I have to do. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So the new heater, definitely working. I'm really happy I got that heater. I mean, it was definitely, yeah, an expense, but I'm drying the wood better. I mean, even this big piece here, to some this may not be that big, but this, it's probably hard to tell. This is dry. I mean, look at this, dry as you can get. So no, I'm pretty happy about it. Like I said, I'm just trying to optimize the burn or the kiln time to, you know, maybe speed up the process. But my thought is, yeah, it's super dry on the outside, still holds moisture on the inside. By letting it rest for 3 days, how much moisture comes out of the core and wicks away to the, you know, the outer portion of the wood? How is it pretty quickly? Does it take weeks? I mean, that I don't know. I mean, it's hard to find research on that kind of thing. That I just don't know. Most of the stuff you find online or whatever is all about drying lumber. Well, I don't really care about that. So I'm curious to see what you guys think, or if you have any insight on that or any knowledge on how long it takes for the moisture on the outside or the inside to wick away more to the outside. Because I know if I test this, it'll start to read after a couple of days. So maybe it does push out to the outside quicker than I think. Because if it does, then, you know, doing it for 3 days, taking it out, another batch, and then let it go back in for 2-3 days, then I think I'm getting a lot more moisture out. Because, you know, if you look at a lot of these pieces, you know, they'll fully crack really good, you know. This is seasoned wood here, so that wasn't even in there. But this was, I mean, you look at a piece like this, I mean, this really cracked and opened up, you know. All this is starting to, you know, really cracked really good. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of torn on how it's going. I mean, it's going well. I'm just trying to, like I said, just optimize the cycle that it's in. I haven't done a test like that, so I think Sunday the stuff that's in there is coming out, and I'm going to put a new batch in, and that's what I'm going to try. So it doesn't hurt to try, I guess, right? So, because I feel like even if that 7 days, the last day and a half, 2 days, was kind of pointless, right? It did dry it better though, because when I tested it, I mean, the results were pretty good. I didn't complain. I just thought it would have been like drier on the inside. It just wasn't. So that's why I think it's case hardening. So, I mean, maybe I have to just let the exhaust fan turn off and let the moisture build up so everything is saturated and then dry it again. Like, I don't know if I should be doing cycles like that. I mean, maybe I'm just overthinking it. I don't know. Because everything's burnable. So, I don't know. I've been so busy, my head's all over the place, you know, doing trees, delivery, making wood, this and that. So yeah, curious to see what your guys' feedback is on that. But I know some of you wanted, you know, more kiln videos, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, it's running right now, and it'll be running probably the rest of the year, depending on the wood orders, how that goes. I mean, you can see the moisture. I don't know if you can see the little water bubble. I mean, it's, if I put my hand here, I wish it would accumulate water, but man, does that smell good. So like you can feel the moisture on it. Like right now I think the humidity levels are almost down to 20. So it's pretty dry. Now the new batch that's going in is all different wood from different wood pile than what this is, and that stuff is soaked. So I know that one's going to be a little different. That's why I think that's a good batch to let it sit for a little bit and then throw it back in. So, but those of you that don't know what baking wood smells like, let me tell you, it smells awesome. Every time I go over to that event, I do it like a few times a day if I'm around. It just smells good. I haven't threw cherry in there yet, like pure cherry. I can only imagine what that smells like, but it's a good scent. But not to bore you with that. But anyways, yeah, stay tuned. This Sunday night, that's when that batch will be going in. So next week, Wednesday, so probably Thursday, I'll have a video of the 3 days, how that went, what the readings are reading. I'll let it sit for probably 6-7 hours. I'll let it cool down a little bit. I'll test some stuff and see when I throw the new batch in. And then 3 days later, so about a week and a half, I'll have the results of the 3 days, 3 days off, 3 days on, or whatever it's going to be, and see how that goes. I mean, who knows? That could be the ticket right there. So, but yeah, I just wanted to give you a little update on the kiln there and kind of get you guys' feedback, see what you guys think. So, but yeah, let me know in the comments, obviously. But yeah, as always, keep burning.